It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Black Real Estate Dialogue podcast. Before we get into this episode, please take a moment, pause this podcast, and leave us a 5-star rating and review. It helps us out a lot, helps us go up in the rankings and reach more people. You also get a shout out if you leave a review. So I look forward to hearing from you. Very excited about this episode. Here with me today, I have Nasar El Arabi out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you so much for joining the show today, man.
Man, thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure, bro. Shout out to the Black Real Estate Dialogue, bro, for real.
Appreciate you. So let's get right into it. Real Estate Doru, how did you get into real estate?
So first things first, for those who don't know me, I'm Nasar, aka the Real Estate Doru. Not a guru, I'm a Doru because I actually do this business. And bro, how did I get into real estate, bro? Yo, it all seems like yesterday, man. I was 19 years old, right? Overheard my father talking to his friend about our neighbors selling selling their house to an investor for $150. The investor put $20,000 into it and turned around and sold it for $270. So here it is. I'm in the back seat listening to my father, like talking to his friend. I'm like, whoa. He just made $100,000 on a house. I was like, yo, I could do one house a year and I'd be straight the rest of my life. So that's where the journey began. And me being 19, not knowing any better, of course, who do I go talk to about real estate? Somebody who doesn't do real estate. So I went to my father, right? So I go to my father and I say, yo, man, how do I get in real estate? Oh, yeah, just talk to my friend. He fixes credit and he'll prepare you to buy a house. So I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. So I go see his friend. So I'm 19, not that, and I'm in school at the time, but it's not that I got bad credit. I ain't got no credit. But what his friend did for me was get me on the right road that had great credit. And like all throughout my 20s, I had a 700 plus credit score. But if you know anything about credit, credit and income is two different things. You know what I mean? Totally two different things. It's separate. So yeah, I was still broke in my 20s, working in call centers, et cetera, with a 700 plus credit. All my credit is basically saying like, yo, this guy's responsible. You let him borrow so he'll pay it back. So, but that's how I got my start into real estate. My first deal I did at 24 in Jersey, me and my man, and it was a fix and flip. The way we was able to get the house, this was before the housing crash, and they had back then what we call no document loans, aka ninja loans, aka stated income loans, meaning that you went to the loan officer told you what you made, and you said yeah, and then you bought a house. So that's how we got the house, and of course everything crashed, and me and my man, we lost $7,000 a piece. At the time, it sucked, but looking back, that was a blessing to lose $14,000 and not lose everything.
Wow, amazing. So it sounded like you just so happened to overhear a conversation, and it just triggered something. You're like, wow, you know what? I could do that too. And so you also mentioned you took a loss in the very beginning. So can you talk about just what you learned from there, and what happened going forward? Because we know the end story, but let's dig into how you got there.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna take this whole episode out. We did everything wrong. First of all we did was we watched back then the Flip Those House shows, right? So we knew all the characters by name. So we figured like, yo, all we gotta do is buy an ugly house, fix it up, yell at some contractors, make a bunch of money, right? So yeah, we found out it didn't work like that, bro. So we bought the house wrong. First of all, we didn't pay attention to comps. We just seen the ugly house, we bought it. We didn't pay attention to comps. We thought that we could sell the house for what we felt as though it was worth because that house was nicer than everybody else in the world. So that didn't work. Contractor took advantage of us. So it was a mess all the way around, man. And then the realtor sucked. It was terrible, bro. And the market went from cool to bad to worse. if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So, and that was like, fortunately, before we sold it, we was on the contract. All right. Back if you from the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, there used to be a company called Foxton. Foxton had this business model for realtors. Everybody got paid $40K a year, base salary. Everybody got this green and white Mini Cooper. What happened was when the market cooled off, I remember all your agents got Mini Coopers, all your agents on salary. They were doing, I think, like 2% listing or something like that. That's what separated them. We gonna list houses for 2% or 1% or whatever it was, but the market cooled off, so stuff is not selling. So they went under. So the listed company went under, and there goes that. And we went to another company. The third realtor was able to sell it. So we spent some time in the market because the third realtor was able to sell it. So, and we still not knowing the market is bad. Maybe like before we close, 1 or 2 loan offices closed up. No major banks announced failure yet. Soon as we closed, like a few days later, that's when the major banks were like, yo, we going under. Like, we got to go. So I was like, yes. We sold it. And I moved down to Charlotte. I had my bachelor's degree from King University. And I moved down to Charlotte and got my first job in the call center making $10 an hour with a college degree.
Man. So, you get down to Charlotte, from the tri-state area, making $10 an hour. As far as real estate, like, what were you thinking about? Like, is this still something that you wanted to do? And just making that little money, like, what did you do? How did you take the next step in real estate?
See, I was at the time, bro, it's 08, I'm like 24, 25, bro. So at the time, I was too stupid to quit. You know what I mean? Like, literally just too stupid to quit. I knew, I was like, man, real estate work. I just did it wrong. It didn't work for me. You know what? We can't fix and flip. You got to buy rental properties. So 2008, I leveraged my $10 an hour job in the call center and bought a house and rented that joint out. Mm-hmm. This is when Charlotte was cheap, because when I moved down there, the goal was to take over the real estate market in Charlotte.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the goal. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had to work in corporate America 4 years before I got fired, and we'll get to that. You know what I mean? So, but that was the goal. So I bought a rental in 08. I bought a rental in 09 and in 08, towards like the third or fourth quarter of 08, I got a better job working at the call center in Wachovia, the headquarters. Wells Fargo bought them. Because if you don't know anything about Charlotte, North Carolina, at that time, we were the number 2 biggest banking city in the country.
Wow.
Now, I think we're like 3 or 4 because San Francisco took the number 2 spot because Wells Fargo bought Wachovia, which was headquartered here. So with that being said, after I got my second rental property, I go to buy my third, because in my mind, I'm accumulate all these rental properties, quit my job through cash flow. That's how I had it planned out.
Yeah.
But what happened was, bruh, I went to go get my third house. The loan officer like, oh, your debt to income is too high. Huh? I don't know what that means. My debt to income too high. What you mean my debt to income too high? Like, yo, your debt to income is too high, meaning you don't make enough to have a third house. Mm-hmm. With all your debt you got. All my debt. Huh? I had 2 houses and like less than like 10K in student loans. Mm-hmm. I mean, so, and I was making 12 something an hour at that time. So I couldn't buy another house. So in my mind, I'm like, dang, my real estate career really over. Yeah. That was quick. Cause I don't know nothing else. I mean, I'm just knowing the traditional way to buy real estate. Man, so I read this book, changed my life. Book by the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Mm-hmm. And I'm 26 now. I ain't never read in my life, bro. High school, I didn't read. I was the cool guy in high school. I had a 1.8 GPA. I was like most popular, best dressed, class clown. I was that guy. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that you would assume 10 to 15, 20 years later from high school, I would be in front of a liquor store asking you for a quarter. You know what I mean? So I was that guy in high school. But then, I went on to college. Took me like 6 years to finish on my 4-year degree, 4 different schools, cheated all through college. I didn't really read through college. I didn't even read in college. You know what I'm saying? So, bruh, I started reading at 26 because I realized that I had to do something different because the results I got, this ain't what I want. This just can't be my life. I ain't go to college to work at the call center. So
right.
The book said something that stuck out to me, bro. It said, yo, before you start investing in real estate, you need to learn how to do real estate. Before you start investing in stocks, you need to learn how to do stocks. I said, what? Wait, what? Oh, I never learned how to do real estate. So somebody seen me reading the book and they was like, yo, it's a REIA here in Charlotte. I said, what? Because he was into it. And I'm like, yo, he gave me the website. I joined the REIA. For those who don't know what the REIA is, Real Estate Investment Association. Okay. They had, bro, like back then, you go to meetup.com, type in real estate investing, your zip code, every major city probably had like 100 clubs now these days. So found out about my REIA. That's when I found out about wholesaling and creative real estate. Basically buying and selling of houses without leveraging your credit and no money. And 09, 010, that's where the journey began. Like, what? Man, I'm about to run it up. So yeah.
Love it. So you learned about wholesaling. So how did you approach, and you still are fairly new to the city, you were there for a couple of years at this point. How did you go about like finding those deals under value and building up your buyers list and all that stuff? Like, how did you approach that starting off?
Oh yeah, just I found a mentor. I found my mentor by working. You know what I mean? I was actually doing the work, calling listings. Back then, I'm calling houses on Craigslist, and somebody said, I said, yo, so who am I speaking with? I said, yo, my name is Nasar. I'm interested. What's your name? Nasar. Wait. You be coming to the real estate meeting? I said, yeah, that is me. He said, listen, I'm gonna be at this meeting over here tomorrow. I want to meet you. I said, all right, cool. So I'm like, yo, I'm going. And he put me up to a new meeting, but he became my mentor because he seen that I was working and I was coming around. So he like, yo, this guy must be serious if he working. And 2011, I got my first deal. I was driving for dollars. It took me 8 months to get my first deal.
Wow.
What I did, I changed jobs in 2011 to get a 9-to-5 schedule because I was on second shift before. My last job, the call center before that, in 2000, between 08 and 2010, I was on second shift, son. So yeah. I'm on second shift with Tuesdays and weekends off, working like 11:30 to 10. So, bro, I didn't see sun come up during the week for like 2 years straight, bro. I used to be sick, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, man, the ladies need me outside, bro. And I'm in this call center. What's going on, son? So, but they was trying to hold the brother back, man. They, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I used to go to the meetings on Tuesday, and I used to use my vacation time to go to the main real estate investment meetings every third Thursday of the month. Mm-hmm. So I used my vacation time, but I was willing to make the sacrifices to make this business work. And I zoomed in on what I wanted. Sometimes we trying to chase 2 rabbits, we catch none. And I was no longer trying to I didn't care or have no concern with growing my career. I was okay with my career being stable because I was trying to grow and I was watering the seed that I planted over here, which was the real estate investment. Did my first deal in 2011. They end up getting rid of me, bro. Wow. Beautiful company, Fortune 500 company. It was me. I'm terrible. You know what I mean? It definitely wasn't them. It was me. You know. So with that being said, bro, hey, real talk, dog. I came to work in November, right? Yo, I was late to my own firing, dog. That's how terrible I was, bro. They was waiting for me in the office so they could come get me to fire me, right? I ain't know, you know what I mean? So I'm in the bathroom, you know, doing what I gotta do, you know, being late, because, you know, I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as I got to my seat, they like, yo, go get him. You know what I mean? I seen him saying like, yo, go get him. He over there. So they came and got me, walked me in the office. It was November, bro. They like, yo, listen, we eliminating your position, and your official last day is January 3rd, but don't come back to work no more. And we gonna pay you until January 3rd. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that? Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So that's how that was. And I talked to a mentor. My mentor was like, look, I don't think you're ready to go full time. Go back and get another job and buy rentals until you have enough rentals to leave your job. Just went to another job, right? I don't lie, bro. My resume, I told these good people that, you know what I mean? I knew how to do Excel sheets, right? Because I don't found the resume on Google. So, you know, I did some copy and pasting. You know what I mean? I gotta get a job. You know, I got bills. Bruh, they gave me some Excel sheets, bruh. I know they regret hiring me. So anyway, they ended up firing me, bruh. And I've been doing this business full time ever since September of 2012, bro. My highest paying job was $38,000, bro. I got a 7-figure real estate business, bro.
Wow. So, you know, you had your last 2 jobs, they didn't work out, and now you're out there. Now you're betting on yourself 100%. What changed for you, like, after that, like in the year or 2 after, you know, leaving that after the jobs didn't work out? How did you proceed from there? Because, you know, a lot of people might have been like, man, you know, I don't have a job and I don't know what to do. And it seems like, and you stuck with it. You stuck with it over the last 10 years. So talk to us more about that, because I'm really curious about what was going through your mind at that time.
I mean, I was just wired different, being real. I was always ambitious, bro. Thanks to my parents, bro. My mother and father, they taught me how to save at a young age. You know, I grew up in a low income environment, but, you know, we were middle class. It's just that we were. I grew up in you from Brooklyn, so you know how this goes. Yeah. You can be middle class and still be in the hood if you were in New York City or North Jersey. You know what I mean? You could be middle class and still be in the hood. You know what I mean? So that's what it was for me and my situation. But my parents still, they taught me how to save. They weren't negative Nancy's. You know, will always say, you know, you could. It was a lot of black pride in my house. You could be anything you want to be, you know, etc. Like my grandfather, he buried Malcolm X, the man I grew up calling grandfather. My mother, she marched with Martin Luther King and all that. So it was real like, yo, ain't nobody better than you. You can go out there, you're gonna be the best you can be. You know, the whole rundown. So yeah, the negative influence came from outside in the environment, you know what I mean? So, but man, what it was, bro, I didn't know, like somebody came to me, my man came to me, he said, yo, bro, you got fired for some great companies. Most people who get fired from the companies you got fired from, they never recover, right? And then I thought about it. I said, yo, I think the difference was with me was I never looked at myself as keeping a job the rest of my life. I never looked at myself as this Fortune 500 company defines me. Yeah. That was never my goal, bro. Like that was never my goal. Like it was always to own my own business. In high school, I wanted to own my own business. You know what I mean? That was always my goal. So I think that was the difference between me and most people, what I wanted for myself. You know what I mean? So, bruh, how you feel about yourself will determine a lot. I swear, when I was heavy in self-development, starting out on my journey, I read multiple books, right? And I used to read these positive blogs, but it was a recurring theme. I'm getting this from books. I don't know if the study was true or not. The book was basically saying, in these blogs, they're basically saying you could put out the same job description, okay? The same job description, the same exact job, right? You can put one job pays $12 an hour, and then the other job pays $100,000 a year, same job description. You will get thousands of applications for the $12 an hour job, and you'll only get very few applications for a $100,000 job. And that's because the way people feel about themselves. So having that self-confidence, man, is key. And that's one thing I never lacked was confidence, bro. You know, I was $10 an hour, $12 an hour, 38,000 a year, bro.
Definitely. Awesome, man. So how did you grow the business, I guess, in those first couple of years? Like, what was it like? Were you mostly focused on wholesaling at that time?
Mostly focused on wholesaling, right? So, kind of crazy. I got fired from 38,000 a year in September of 2012, November. I made 10K in 1 month. Now, 10K at that time was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I'm from the bottom. Brooklyn, you get somebody knocked off for a grand. Same thing in North Jersey. You know what I'm saying? You could have knocked off for 500. So, 10 stacks. You know what I mean? So, I got 10 bands. So it's like, what? Like, I got 10 bands of my own. Forget that job. You already know. So that's how I was going, man. So it's just transition to wholesaling. The next year, 2013, I was like, I had 5 figures put up, like 40, 50K put up in my business account. My personal accounts was looking right, everything looking right. I'm like, yo, I'm about to get in, and I'm a one-man band at the time, bro. Like, bro, I'm about to get in the rehabbing. So partnership, I made a name for myself in the city. I was on YouTube bubbling. So people bringing me their deals, and I got a lot of connections and relationships for that. So I got back into rehab via partnerships, right? Learning how to do it the right way. Now I'm making my spread of the, I'm bringing is the deal, because I became the deal finder in town. So all I'm bringing is the deal to the table. They putting up the money. I get my cut, 40K or so. Now I'm getting 40K. 40K is, to me, is you could buy, it's a brand new start for your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For some of y'all, 40K mean Louis Vuitton and Gucci, and you know what I mean, maybe like a 3 Series, an old 3 Series BMW. You know what I mean? But nah, for me, I'm like, man, I'm about to bubble off that. So, just take that, bubble off that, and kept going. You know what I mean? And then look back, bro. That's how that happened on the business aspect. Did I make mistakes? I made tons of them, dog. Bro, you know what I mean? I ain't know that federal tax and payroll tax is 2 different things, bro. IRS came into my door, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't know that. So, you get the bumps and the bruises.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned you became the deal finder in town. And it's so interesting because you got to town literally a few years before, very new, very green, learning the market, and then you become the deal finder in town. How did you get to that point? Because before you were reading the book and you started going to REIAs, and then not too shortly after, people are coming with you for deals, for partnerships and stuff like that. Like, what did it take to get to that point?
Bro, I leveraged my brand, son. So I was on YouTube since 2012, 2013, bro. So putting out the content, sharing my journey, and with people at the REIA, they was like, wait, this guy's a full-time wholesaler. Because a lot of seasoned investors was like, bro, you wholesaling is so much work. You can't do that full-time. It's just so much work. But it was, at that time, bro, it was like 2 active real estate podcasts out of like 5 on iTunes.
Wow.
There was one specifically on wholesaling. I had to listen to like every episode, bro. Literally every episode. So with that being said, I'm like, he do it full time. Man, I could do it full time. So, and people were shocked. And here it is, I'm in the South. You know what I mean? This whole, that REIA, bro, it's just to put it in perspective, it was full of Trump votes. You know what I mean? But they respected my hustle because they like, yo, here's a guy, regardless of color, faith, and religion, etc. Like, he worked. You know what I mean? He come here working. He ain't coming here crying, asking for a handout. For my REIA, I'm volunteering every Saturday, getting into the rooms for free to hear the speakers talk, getting the information and putting it to work. So I was really out there grinding, man. I tell people, man, when you're in your 20s, man, make the proper sacrifices now, you know what I'm saying? And to get to it. But it was basically just soaking up that information and taking action. What happens, bro, a lot of people, bro, they soak up the information and then that's as far as it goes, bro. Like, no, bro, you got to take action, bro. Like the information you gain once you take action, that's when it becomes knowledge. And that's how you start moving better.
Definitely. I mean, I love that so much because, a lot of people are great at consuming content. They'll listen to all the podcasts. They'll watch all the YouTube videos and not even take a step further. We're not asking you to listen to this episode and go buy $1 million house. We're asking you to listen to this episode and take another step. Take another step after that and take another step after that. And I think that's the big missing piece with a lot of people is they just stay in the consumption phase for way too long. You look 5 years down the line, you're still in the same place, still consuming information, no steps taken. So I think it's really good and important that you mentioned that.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? That's the most important part, man. Like, just take your information, focus, follow one course to successful. I know, bro, we in the information age, but it's so much information out there. When I got started, it wasn't all this information. But like, listen, you go on social media, bro, you got somebody talking about Airbnb, somebody talking about short sales, somebody talking about wholesaling, somebody talking about building houses with and leveraging your credit cards. You got Toro. So, but what you got to do, man, you got to find out what you want to do and follow one course until successful. All those niches, you can make money. I'm not going to say one is bad, one is, better than the other. You got to find what works for you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, man, real estate was my vehicle. This is a real estate podcast, but just to be real, real estate might not be your way, man. You got to find something that you willing to grind it out and go through the hard times with, because you will fail before you succeed, man. So, it looks good on social media. And listen, bro, a lot of these guys, man, they buying followers. They renting out Airbnbs, doing photo shoots in cars. I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like, I know what it is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know some of these guys, they don't own no real estate, but they got that joint looking good because they showing you some European designer belt and shoes to match, man. And I'm telling you like this, real estate is better, than owning, a belt and some shoes to match, bro.
Are you looking for a community of like-minded individuals and access to experts in real estate? Yeah. Are you interested in real estate but need more support and guidance? You know who it is? The Black Real Estate Dialogue presents the Real Estate Investing Community. No matter how much or how little real estate experience you have, we've created a community for you because your perspective is important. All right, tell me, where's the number one place where you can do Q&A with experienced guest speakers 2 times per month? How about unlimited access to past guest speakers' recordings? What about a private Slack channel to engage in daily discussion with everybody in the community to share resources and support each other? Head on over to blackrealestatedialogue.com. That's blackrealestatedialogue.com. It's the real estate investing community presented by the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Come join us today.
I have a 7-figure net worth due to making great purchases for rental property through real estate. If I would have made all that wholesaling money and just bought nice outfits so that I could feel good about myself and y'all could admire me, I would not have a 7-figure network, bro. I make 6 figures, bro. Like, where's mine? If I decide to get out the bed or not through my rentals, because my rentals, I do well over 100K in gross rents.
Wow.
Know what I mean? So my rental, I do well over 100K in gross rent. So if I don't get out the bed, I still, you know what I mean? I got that, you know what I'm saying? And for me, that's a long-term play. I don't even take from that money. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, this business is so powerful, man. So don't sit on the sideline, man. Get in and make it work, bro.
Definitely. And that goes into the next question I was going to ask you. So, wholesaling, right? You get once you hit your stride, and obviously you have hit your stride, you can get a lot of money and, build up a lot of money pretty quickly. And so when did you decide to take some of those funds to park it into long-term rentals? Was that the strategy all along, or did you come to a point where you're like, all right, you know what, I want to start more aggressively buying rentals?
Well, that's a good question, bro. It was the strategy all along since a teenager, like at the 19, 20, I envisioned myself buying apartment buildings. However, it was theory. The reason why I say it was theory, because it was just an idea. What happened was when I really put it to action was, like you said, you like, yo, I gotta turn up. But I talked to a mentor of mine who lends me money. I still have that money relationship to this day. I said, yo, man, how do I get to where you are? He said, yo, you got to make sure your money is working harder for you than you are. You need to start buying rental properties. Start buying rental properties. All right, cool. So started buying rental properties. Started getting more aggressive with it. Buying in low income areas, AKA the hood in Charlotte, right? Buying in the hood and buying them for cheap when I can. And I know sometimes it feels crazy. Let's say you got 45,000, you about to remove 45,000 for something that's could possibly give you like $695 in rent. It feel crazy. Like, man, I got 45, I'm getting 700, but it's a long-term play and you should study your market so you know exactly what your strategy is. For me, I was buying in hoods that were close to downtown and I knew eventually it was going to change. What I didn't know, it was going to happen so fast and it was going basically like 5 times in price. I did not know that. You know what I mean? I just knew it was going to go up. I didn't know it was going to go up 5 times. You know what I mean? Like, I did not know that. But yeah, I was just doing that, man. And, as from doing that, I learned how to start working with local banks, talking to my mentors, right? Talking to my mentors. And we're talking to them. They like, yo, listen, once you start working with local banks, that's a game changer. So make sure you pay your taxes. Because I was always paying my taxes. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, a lot of investors and entrepreneurs, what they do, they take too many deductions. Of course, you're allowed deductions, but they take more so that they don't have to pay taxes. So it was like, yo, make sure you pay your taxes, pay your fair share, and that way you become bankable. And yo, I'll be working with the local banks to take it down with hard money, refinance my joints and all that.
Got you. And, I like that you mentioned that you started investing down in Charlotte in the hood and low income areas. And people have their theories, right? Some people think that's a bad idea. But if we look at America, if we look at quote unquote hoods all over the country, the same thing is happening, especially in the major cities, especially near the downtowns. Like, those who blocked out the noise and made those investments or held on to the houses that they had, they're reaping the rewards now, or they will eventually. So can you talk a little more about that? Because I really want people to consider that. There might be somebody listening who wants to invest in an area somebody says may not be good because, certain people live there or whatever the case is, but, there's another side to that. So I would love if you could talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, man, it's definitely another side, man. Unfortunately, in most cases, I ain't gonna say in most cases. In some cases, it's too late, man. And some of y'all fell for the the other man said, yo, stay away from that. Those are war zones. Even when I was in the hood, bro, and I'm talking about in the hood, not owning the real estate, I'm just in the hood running around. I thought to myself, like, yo, we comfortable here. running around here, to the outside world, y'all not comfortable here. Y'all don't come in here. I get it. I understand. Like it, it can get dramatic at any time, any given minute. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But my whole thing for me being from that environment, I'm like, yo, why does somebody who don't look like us own the property here? And we in here, we live in here, you know what I mean? And a lot of these low income cases all over the country, in the hood, same thing go on, just the slang is different, you know what I mean? But same fundamentals go on. You got guys dying over stuff they don't even know, man. They mama don't even know it, bro. So
yeah, I
always felt like, yo, bro, like I'm gonna own in the hood. My first flip, I mean, that was a terrible mistake, but we flipped the house in the hood that we lost money on. You know what I mean? When I bought my first one on 08 in Charlotte, in the hood. 09, hardcore hood. Bro, this hood in Charlotte I was in, bro, this joint was so hardcore, bro. Like I'm not exaggerating. I think I'm exaggerating, bro. Anytime bro, and I was on the drug block, bro. I did not know, bro. I looked at the house at like before going to work, so like 10 in the morning. So, all the criminals sleep. You know what I'm saying, son? So they sleep, right? And so you might want to go like through a block at midday. I didn't know it was a hood because in Charlotte hood was different. When you in Brooklyn, you in the hood, you in the hood.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? You in the hood, you in the hood. Like, ain't no mistake. Like they hoods was like houses and stuff like that. So I'm like, all these houses, you know what I mean? Like, bruh, man, yeah, I swear every time it was vacant, breaking in, vandalism, I had to deal with that. It would be a new memorial on that block of somebody else getting killed because it was a drug block. So, guys running businesses and, what comes with that comes with that. Bruh, I bought that joint in 09. 18, I'm like, yo, it's the top of the market. I could finally get out of this house because my first two rentals, they was in my personal name. I don't know nothing about creative real estate now. Now, and I don't own nothing in my name now. You know what I mean? You Google me and find what I own. I own a Camry and I got the title to my Camry. So don't try to sue me for my Camry. I need it. You know what I mean? That's an everyday car, bro. So listen, bro, I'm up in the 2018. I bought that house for like 77,000, bro. 2018, bro. I put like 20 into it. I sold that house for like 180. I walked away like 100,000 at closing because gentrification, right. 100,000 at closing, like 70 was profit. All I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna say this though, like if I would have held that house, I'd probably be walking away like 200,000 plus today. But you have to look at this stuff as long-term hold. All those hoods, when they did low income areas, aka the hood back in the day, when I say back in the day, pre-civil rights, they had to have African Americans in a concentrated area. This was purposely done.
Right.
Some highways, you notice, in these low income areas, they're surrounded by highways, surrounded by public transportation. The reason being they wanted to keep people in certain areas. Some of those highways, they wiped out whole African American neighborhoods. You couldn't build highways in the subways like they did in the inner city. Reason being, you could not interrupt white life, meaning that you cannot say, hey, look, all this subdivision, we got to come through here with a highway. Yo, this highway, y'all got to hit construction because we about to build out this highway. Nah, you couldn't interrupt white life like that. So fast forward to about after 2015, all those highways, public transportation, that became convenience. All right. It went from not wanting to be lived there, not wanting to live there because of the noise, all that activity, to now it's convenience. Wait, hold on. I can live in this neighborhood. I can Uber into work. I can party downtown. I can go watch the games, do everything. I can live the live, work, and play thing is going on now. Whereas when I was growing up in the 90s, the white people took the suburbs and we were in the city, and that was undervalued real estate. And now that became prime real estate. I can show you spots in Charlotte, and I'm sure you can do it out in Cali, definitely Brooklyn. But,
yeah, Brooklyn's unrecognizable, man.
it ain't even recognizable, bro. I came up in the 90s, bro. and I was in North Jersey, bro, but we knew you don't walk through Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like Brooklyn get down. Like Brooklyn, the borough that they knuckle game is great. And not only knuckle game is tight, they shoot and stab there too. So you gotta be careful in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? You go to a party in Brooklyn, you better have the hammers all up in the car. But anyway, with that being said, bro, like now all that stuff is prime real estate. I can show you spots in Charlotte, like, yo, I was getting houses in here 40, 50, $60,000. Now they build new construction houses 8K plus.
Wow.
You know what I mean? All because of the convenience is close to downtown, man. So yeah, bro. Like unfortunately, a lot of times you miss the wave of getting in those inner cities and you have to buy at the high prices. But you know, I didn't follow the crowd. I went to invest where I was comfortable. And the other investors, they wasn't the ones who looked like me and the ones who didn't like me. They were not comfortable in those areas. Some were that knew that the city had a plan to improve certain areas. They were accountable, but on the most part, you know, they weren't buying in there. But you know, I did it because I'm comfortable here, downtown right there. Like, so eventually it's got to change. And boy, did it change.
Definitely. And I want to talk more about that too. Like how, I've seen your videos and different things talking about like the Charlotte market. For those who haven't, been able to watch over the years, can you talk about how much the Charlotte market has changed and popular people moving down there and real estate and all that, and just how much has changed during the time you've been there?
Yo, bro, listen, I came down in '08, bro. '08, bro. You was getting in the hood. You could rent a house in the hood for like $450 with no HVAC, with HVAC like $500, $550, bro. Like, all right, houses in the hood, 20, 30. It wasn't going for nothing. All right, it was cheap. I moved in my apartment, right? You know what I'm saying? I was in the university area. It's a nice area. I'm coming from Jersey. So I'm like, yo, I'm done with the hood. I'm moving to the nice area. You know what I mean? With that being said, I'm like, cool. So just to give you an idea how cheap this was, I'm in the nice area. My security deposit was $1. Okay. My rent was $579. We had the apartment complex had a pool, had a 24-hour fitness center, picnic area, 24-hour laundry room. I had the works, bro. Like, chicks used to come to my joint, bro. Like, oh my God, you live here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how cheap it was, bro. You could have bought houses, and even in that area, you could have bought houses. Like, if you had cash, you can get 30, 50,000, 60,000. The loans, like you was getting brand new houses built in the hood for like 120, in the nice areas start like 140. To me, I was on some fools, man. I'm like, man, that's a lot of money, because I was getting my rentals like, yo, 40, 50, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, 140, that's a lot of money. You know, fast forward, bro, $350,000 probably get you about 1,200, 1,400 square feet. You know what I mean? Not 14, but like 1,200 square feet for like 350 on average inside of Charlotte. You know, prices went all the way up. Like outskirts of downtown can run anywhere between, on the low side, 400,000 up to a mil plus, depending on what hood you living on the outskirts of downtown. You know, bro, when I first moved down, $500,000 got you in the #1 school district. It got you not only #1 school district, you know, the state with the lowest crime at whatever, for $500,000. And you could have got mansions like $500,000, $750,000, but now them $500,000 house is $1 million plus. You know, the getting where the #1 school districts are, you looking, bro, you getting townhouses like 400. You know what I mean? So a house, you looking about 700K on the low side. So a lot has changed in Charlotte, bro. It went from being a cheap. That's one of the reasons I moved down here, because it was cheap. You know what I'm saying? So I moved down here because it was cheap. Because I'm like, yo, I could struggle. I could come up here. You know, it's cheap and I can enjoy the city. Whereas you from Brooklyn, so you know, like Brooklyn is not a place. Wait, let me say that. New York City is not a place you want to be broken. And New York City, when I left in '08, a parking ticket was $100 in New York City. $100 for a parking ticket. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you going out to clubs and all that, man, it costs. Whereas Charlotte was stupid cheap. So I was enjoying it, but now not so much, man. It's not cheap. Just the cost of living went up, house prices went up. Fortunately, I kind of grew with the city. And even back in '08, it was like during the recession, it was like 30 people a day moving there back in the recession. But now it's definitely way more. A lot of Cali people, a lot of Northerners moving here, especially since the remote thing going on. So houses are getting swallowed up left and right, man. My last house, man, I listed for 315, ended up getting like 326, you know what I'm saying? Cash, you know what I'm saying? So, and that person living in the house, you know what I mean? But they was in a situation where they had the cash on deck, so they was able to beat all the other people. So yeah, man, that's just what it is, what's going on here, man. A lot of people moving here. We top 10 fastest growing city in the country. A lot of corporations, a lot of jobs moving here. We just got the Major League Soccer team. So now we got a Major League Soccer team. We got the basketball team. Shout out to the Charlotte Hornets. I can't rock with the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn stole my childhood team, the Nets, from Jersey. So after that, I ain't rocking with them. We got Carolina Panthers here. So we got all the entertainment here. We have a lot of IT jobs coming here, and we did like the third biggest banking city in the country. So, it's growing here, and we'll continue to grow.
Definitely. So how has your real estate business changed over the last couple of years, especially with all the growth that Charlotte is experiencing?
Yeah, inventory is tighter, but my spreads definitely went up because of the shortage of stuff, man. So if you got a deal, it's in demand, man. Like close the deal tomorrow, man. It's like a 50K plus spread, man. When I'm talking to wholesale, dog. No, I ain't do nothing. I was gonna build the house there, right? So, but I got offered 50K plus over. So it was like, well, actually like 60,000 something over. So I'm like, but I got double close. So I net like 50 something after everything. And I'm like, man, you know what? You could keep this because I ain't got to go find a GC, do the building, all this. I ain't got to worry about if the market shift or nothing. I just walk away at 50,000. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my spreads have got a lot bigger, man, due to the growth in the city and people need inventory. So that's what has happened since, man. So I'm still doing wholesaling, rehabbing, and buying rental properties. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. I haven't built since like 2018, but I plan to get back into it, man. But I'm getting older, so it's more like, I want to play more the long-term game. Definitely want to increase cash flow because I do, 100K plus in gross rents, but that ain't enough. Definitely want to do way more than that, in gross rents. So, I'm still working, still going the right direction, man. And, it's been a blessing, man. So, all praises due to the Most High, for blessing me and me being in this position.
Definitely. And how is your business structured now? Are you still going solo? Do you have like other people who help you out with different parts of the business now?
Oh yeah, I got a team. I got a team working for me, bro. Definitely got a team working for me. So I got a team working for me. I got acquisition managers, people on the phones, virtual assistants, you name it, man. I got a team now. I had a team since like 2015, 2016. That's when I really took off. It turned into a 7-figure business, man. So yeah, I got that team, that team helping me out, man, backing me. So, great team members, man, get you far.
Definitely. And, that was about, 6-7 years ago. So what was it about? Because that was still pretty early on in your business. What was it that let you know, or who was it that let you know, you could really scale this business a lot more if you put some people in place?
Back in 2015, bro, I joined this mastermind. It was $20,000 a year. I had to make that bet, man. Join this mastermind, 20K a year. Bro, I walked in this mastermind, bro. These guys you never heard of, doing 6 figures a month. And I'm like, bro, I'm the only African-American in this joint. You know what I mean? So I had to go in there, soak the game up, of course, some people wasn't rocking with me, but the ones that, it was some that was rocking with me. So, the ones that rock with me, I rock with them, the ones that didn't with them. But anyway, so with that being said, man, joining that mastermind, man, shout out to the leader, man, cool dude, man. He took a risk on me and, Yeah, man, 20,000 a year for 3 years straight, man. And that's what I learned. Like, yo, how to hire. I got to do this. Boom, I did it. My joint took off in 2015, right? So I stopped YouTubing to focus on one thing. I wasn't making no money from my YouTube back then, even though my joint was jumping. And I didn't know how to monetize it back then. I didn't know what I was doing. So, yo, I had bought me a I stopped YouTubing and focused on my business, turned out to a 7-figure business. In 2018, got back on YouTube, bro. And for me getting back on YouTube, that's I've been trying to get it back to steady views. It's climbing, but not where I need to be. But yeah, bro. That's just what it was, man. Just join that mastermind, getting around other high-level entrepreneurs, because at that time in 2015, I'm the big fish, in Little Pond here. But the other guys who are doing great, it's not like they're gonna say, "Hey, Nasar, we want you to be our competition, so let me show you everything I'm doing." Nah, bro, I gotta reach out, join masterminds, link up with people. Like, before me and you record the podcast, I'm like, "Yo, let's link up, bro." Like, we gotta link up, share information, man. That's we gotta do that. You know what I mean? Our community, we gotta do that, man, and elevate each other, man. Push each other on, man. We gotta be intentional about bringing somebody else up, man. I got the educational program out now, but bro, we got to be intentional, bro. We cannot be intentional. We cannot do what previous generations did, which I got to be the only guy on the scene. You know what I mean? Only I could have the Cadillac, man. Y'all gotta, stay. It's like, come on, bro. Like, yo, it's enough out here for everybody to eat, for the ones that are gonna work, because most people ain't gonna work. But for the ones that is gonna work, bro, you can get a big check, and get your financial independence. And what I mean by financial independence, you don't gotta depend on a job. We was taught that we needed jobs, bro. You don't need no job, you need income.
Love it. Love it. Love it, man. What are, you have a great story. You have a lot ups and downs, and it's been a lot happening over the past 10 years or so to get you to where you are now. So when you think about all your experiences, what are a couple of tips you would give to someone who aspires to invest in real estate, whatever strategy you want to do? If they want to do buy and hold, wholesaling, fix and flip, just in general, like, what are some tips that you would give to somebody who just wants to get into the real estate business?
Man, educate yourself first. Don't do like I did, not educate yourself. Educate yourself first on what it is that you want to do on that avenue. Bruh, the information is out there, especially like I didn't like when I first got started, I didn't know, because I didn't educate myself first. And I was listening to other people who really didn't do real estate, didn't know what they were doing. And I thought that, walking in, like, my first loan, bro, to get the house in Charlotte, bro, I went to Bank of America to do the loan, bro. And when I started learning about real estate, second loan was Wells Fargo. Well, I went through a broker, but they did it through Wells Fargo. But the second loan, but you either gonna go to a boutique loan spot or work with your local banks. You want to create that relationships with your local banks. Some of you guys probably heard that you can only have 10 rental properties in your name, and that may be true. 10 properties in your name, that may be true with Fannie and Freddie. I don't have anything in my name, literally anything. Except for the Camry, and please don't come take my Camry. So I got the title to my joint, unlike your guru, because I'm the Doru. But anyway, listen, the local banks, bro, you can get properties in your entity, bro, and you can get way more than 10. I got over 10 rental properties. So you can have more than 10, but you have to know the game, how to work with them. So educate yourself first on how to work with local banks. What are local banks looking for? You can buy properties in your LLC. Just got to know how to do it. You can't walk in the Bank of America and spots like that to do it. No, they're not going to want to hear you with no single family loans. Single family homes for them are risky unless they're your primary house. But for local banks, they service that community. They have all this cash on, and they have to make loans. They understand what we do, and they work with you. So whatever niche you pick, man, just educate yourself first. That's the most important thing. So you know how to go about it and do it the right way. And that will shorten up your mistakes.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And talk to us about like your resources before we wrap up.
Okay. Well, as far as, my resources, listen, Real Estate Doru. I'm not a guru, I'm a Doru. That's Doru, D-O-R-U. Real Estate Doru on all social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram. Follow me. If you want, follow me on Instagram, click my link in the bio. I do offer an ebook. Hey man, go get my free ebook, freenasbook.com. It's my first one, my Amazon bestseller. My first one is $10 on Amazon, but I give it to you for free at freenasbook.com. Nas is N-A-S book.com. But I got free stuff. I also the YouTube channel, but I do offer an educational course where I teach wholesaling and I teach rental properties, because I don't want you to just go out and make transactional income. I want you to change the trajectory of your last name, man, and really build generational wealth. Your kids should be able to inherit things as well. Of course, education comes before inheritance, because if you don't educate somebody properly and they inherit something, we know they're going straight to the Louis Vuitton store. Definitely though, but I teach in my academy, I teach wholesaling for one low price, and I teach how to buy rental property. So you get that, and as I add courses on, and that's durusquad.com, durusquad.com. We do this business, Duru, D-O-R-U, squad.com, man, is how you sign up, man. But yeah, that's basically all I got, man. But you can find me on Real Estate Doru on Instagram, man, all platforms, man. Holla at me.
Love it, man. I'm just thinking about this interview and where it all started. And it all started inside a car. It all started with you overhearing a conversation at 19, 20 years old. And, the rest is history. Of course, we unpacked what happened in between, but if you just think about that point and then you fast forward to it not working out with those last couple of jobs, and you decided, you know what, I'm gonna try this real estate thing. I'm gonna bet on myself and see what happens. And you've grown it to a great business now. So I think it's an inspirational story. It's a very relatable story because a lot of people could relate to where you started and the things you experienced over the years. So, man, I appreciate you jumping on the show, and I know this episode is going to add a whole lot of value, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. Real talk, man. Thank you. And, keep doing what you're doing on the gram, bro. Let's educate our people. Let's bring people up who want to go. People who don't want to go, hey, we understand, but we focus on the people who want to go, bro. Like, we don't want no enemies of progress. So let's keep this going in the right direction.
Definitely. And thank you to everyone for listening to another episode of the Black Real Estate Dialogue podcast. Please do leave us a 5-star rating and review. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you all soon.
Hi, everyone. Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button, and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.